Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. So in the previous class, we have completed this problem. All of you have completed that step 9. So I'll just brief you out from the beginning. I think you might have done this. First, you have this was the question before negative feedback control system K divided by S into S plus 1 into S plus 2 into S plus 3, where we got the poles 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. We have got the number of branches it is required is 4, and if the number of singularities to the right of the point are odd, we can say that the point on the real axis lies on the root locus. So those things we have done. Then we have also found the centroids, and then we have found the asymptotes. Number of asymptotes is 4, centroid was 1 and this was the problem carried out in the previous class, where you got angle as 45, 135, 225 and 315. Then we also proceeded with the problem. We have drawn the centroid, and we have marked all the asymptotes. We marked all the poles, and all those things is completed. And then we said that it should be symmetric with the real axis, and then we carried out with the breakaway point. So when we went to the breakaway point, we found that you have to take the characteristic equation. So when you have done that, you have taken the characteristic equation. All of you know to take the characteristic equation, that is 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. So those things you have done, uh, and then we will continue further, where we have got the equation 1 plus k divided by the denominator. So all those things we completed. Then further we have got the equation for k as minus s raised to 4 minus 6s cube minus 11s square minus 6s, that after that we have to find out the breakaway point, we took dk by ds is equal to 0, and we got this equation 4s cube plus 18s square plus 22s plus 6 is equal to 0. Also we have s is equal to minus, when we found the roots, we got s is equal to minus 0.382, minus 2.618 and minus 1.5. We also discussed that why minus 1.5 cannot be the breakaway point, because it does not lie on the root locus. Then we also found that the value of k at the breakaway point cannot be negative. So this further confirms that s is equal to minus 1.5 cannot be a breakaway point. So there are two breakaway points available, s is equal to minus 0.382 and s is equal to minus 0.2.618. These all things we got it. We got the value of k at these points as 1, and we also done the value of k at the other point, that is minus 2.618, that is also 1. We completed that the value of k. The next step, actually we have completed that the intersection point j omega can be on the j omega axis for the values of k closed loop system stability. So what you had to do, you had to substitute s is equal to j omega. So have you all substituted s is equal to j omega? Have
Yes,
you all
sir.
yeah. So when you substitute s is equal to j omega, you can see that j raised to 4 omega raised to 4 6 j cube omega cube plus 11 j square omega square plus 6 j omega plus k is equal to 0. So you have taken the real terms together and the imaginary terms together. So these all things we did in the previous class. Now the equation is satisfied if the real and imaginary parts are simultaneously 0. So we have to equate as omega raised to 4 minus 11 omega square plus k is equal to 0, as well as 6 omega minus 6 omega cube is equal to 0. So from these two equations we can say that omega will not be equal to 0. So we can come to the conclusion that k is equal to 10. So that you can find out, you get it as k is equal to 10. While doing the substitutions further, we can find that omega is equal to plus or minus 1 radians per second. So from these two equations we can find the value of k, and we will get it as k is equal to 10 and omega is equal to plus or minus 1 radian per second. Have you all completed till that? So you can make a note of these things. Have you all completed till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we get k is equal to 10 and omega is equal to plus or minus 1 radian per second. So once you complete it, then we can see that for a closed loop system to be stable, so we can write the condition for a closed loop system to be stable, uh, 0 less than k less than 10, and the system can be called as conditionally stable. Okay, so the system will be called as conditionally stable. So this is what we have completed all the steps. Now whatever points we got, we need to plot it in the graph, and we need to see that how the root locus will be obtained. So you can try plotting it. So you plot the poles, you plot the root locus, you can plot the asymptotes, you can plot the centroid, all those things you have to plot it. So you can try plotting that. So all of you have completed this, then let me go to the plot further. All the steps are completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can say that the system is conditionally stable. So let us plot that. For that, we know that first we have to go ahead with plotting the poles. You can plot the poles there. Then you can plot the centroid. So all those things you can carry out. So the centroid can be also plotted. The centroid is available here, and you have the poles here. These are the poles available there, and then you can draw the asymptotes as well. Draw the asymptotes AS1, AS2, AS3, and AS4. So all the asymptotes you can draw. Once you complete all those things, then you have to mark the points. So omega you got it as plus or minus 1. So you get it as J1, here 1 point you will get, and minus J, here 1 point you will get. So with free hands you can just draw that, as well as one more thing you have observed in this is you have found the breakaway point. Breakaway point means you have to draw it in these directions, and you got two breakaway points. One is at 0 minus 0.382 and another is at minus 0.2.5. 618. So I have marked both the breakaway points and connect the line, and this root locus should go in parallel with the asymptote. So this is the asymptote, this is the root locus. You can see that they move in parallel to each other. And also you need to see that, see here also it is asymptote, and you can see that it moves parallel to each other, and we say that at infinity they meet each other. Okay, so they meet each other at the infinity. So while drawing you can draw those things parallel to that, and you can show these things. So all of you can draw this root locus. Once you complete it, we will move ahead with another problem. So mark the points, mark the poles, root locus, centroid, asymptotes, 4 asymptotes you need to mark. Then you also need to mark these points. That is omega is equal to plus or minus 1 you got. So you got 1j as well as minus j. So 1j, and you got it as minus 1j also. So these 2 points you can mark, that is at k is equal to 10. So mark those points, mark the breakaway points, and draw the root locus freehands, which is going parallel to the asymptotes. Like you can see that with parallel to the asymptote 1, you can also see it going parallel to asymptote 2, 3, 4. So mark the breakaway points, and you will get the root locus in this form. So all of you have completed this. Already 50% of the diagram you have already drawn. So only rest of the things you had to complete. All of you have completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will continue further with a new problem. So you can take down that sketch the root locus plot for a negative feedback control system having an open loop transfer function. So you have to find out the root locus of a negative feedback control system having the open loop transfer function, and the function is given as g of s h of s is equal to k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2. Entirely a different problem. So you get it as k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2. So make a note of this problem, that is g of s h of s is equal to k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2, and now we can solve it out. Okay. See, since it is the fourth problem, you can try step by step process. I will support you to draw the entire root locus. So you can just start doing the problem. So g of s h of s is equal to k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2 for all values of k ranging from 0 to infinity. So try to solve it. So students, you can start doing the problem. So we will do step by step. So first step is what? When you get this problem, you have to plot the poles and zeros of g of s, h of s on the s plane. So write down step 1, poles and zeros to be plotted for h of s, g of s, h of s in the s plane. So poles and zeros. So who will tell that how many poles and how many zeros are there here? How many zeros are there? How many zeros are there? You are still writing the problem. So how many zeros are there here? Deepti, how many zeros are available here? So you try that step by step process to write it. We will discuss it once again, all these steps, but you can try it solving it. It's a simple one. So anyone got the poles and zeros here? So when you solve it, you will get it as how many zeros? Zero zeros, okay. And how many poles? We will see that at k is equal to 0, point s is equal to, you will get s is equal to 0 and s square plus 2s plus 2 is equal to 0. From there you can find out it will be minus 1 plus j1 and minus 1 minus j1. So it is a slightly different problem. So you can see that the poles will be at s is equal to 0, minus 1 plus j1 and minus 1 minus j1. K is equal to 0 and points are s are infinity. So s is equal to infinity. So this is what you will get. So we know that a branch on the root locus always starts from a pole and ends to a 0. So that also you can note down as a step 3. The branch of the root locus starts from a pole and ends on a 0. So how many branches are there? So we have how many poles and how many zeros? 0 zeros and 3 poles. So how many branches are there? Whichever is greater. So how many branches are there?
Three, sir.
3 branches. Very good. So the number of branches of the root locus is 3 because whichever is greater. So the number of branches, to find out you need to see that number of poles and number of zeros. So number of 0 is 0, number of poles is 3. So whichever is greater means 3 is greater. So number of branches will be 3. So that will be step 4. Step 5. A point on the real axis will lie on the root locus if the number of singularities to the right of these points are odd. So these things are the same which I have repeated before as well. So you need to say that the number of singularities to the right of the point are odd. So the point on the real axis lies on the root locus if the number of singularities. So root locus, where to plot the root locus, that you have to be very much careful. Okay, so the number of singularities to the right of the pole has to be like, you take the number of zeros or number of poles, it has to be an odd number to the right. Okay, so then you can say that you can have a root locus over there. So we can write all this step till step 5. After that we have to find out the centroid, then we have to find out the asymptotes, number of asymptotes, we have to find out the angle. So you can do that after completing all these 5 steps. So once you complete it, just let me know that. We'll move on to the 6th step, that is finding out the asymptotes, finding out the centroid and the angle at which the asymptotes are placed. So all of you have completed till step 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can do it further, step 6. So step 6 is we have to find the asymptotes. So how many number of asymptotes are available here? It is pole minus 0, p minus z, number of poles minus number of 0. How many asymptotes are available here?
3, sir.
3 asymptotes. So you can write that the number of asymptotes is equal to pole minus 0 and 3 minus 0, that is 3. Now let me ask you to find out the centroid. So where is the centroid placed? You can complete it and just let me know that. So where is the centroid? What is the value for the centroid? So you need to take the summation, that is summation of finite poles and minus summation of finite 0 divided by pole minus number of poles minus number of 0. So what is the summation of poles? You know that it is 0 minus 1 plus j1 plus minus 1 minus j1. So what you'll get it? What is the sum of that? You know that pole minus 0, number of poles minus number of 0 is 3. So denominator you got it as 3. Now you need to find out the finite poles. Finite zeros are 0. So only you need to take the summation of finite poles. Any answer?
Minus 2 by 3, sir.
Minus 2 by 3. So all of you have completed this. We'll go to the next part. So find out the sigma A. So those who have completed sigma A, you go with the finding out the angles. Okay. phi A. So the answer is 0.66 minus 0.66. I think you will get minus 0.66 itself. Somebody has
Yes, sir.
told the answer, no? Same, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you will get minus 0.66. After that, find out the angle made by the asymptote. To find out the angle made by the asymptote, you know that you have to find out phi A. Phi A is 2q plus 1 into 180 degree divided by pole minus 0. So you have three asymptotes here. So the value of q will be 0, 1 and 2. So substitute for 1, substitute for 0, 1 and 2. You will get phi A is equal to 60, 180 and 300. So you need to sketch the three asymptotes. You plot the three asymptotes in the S plane. All of you plot the three asymptotes in the S plane. Mark the poles and zeros as well. There is no zero, there are two poles. So three poles, you can mark those poles. So you got 1 plus j1 and all. So you should know that how to plot minus 1 plus j1. So it will come here. So all of you can complete that plot for asymptotes. You have the angles 60, 180 and 300. So plot it and complete it. So you have asymptote 1, asymptote 2 and asymptote 3. So you can see that the centroid is plotted at 0.66, that is sigma A. You also can see that the poles are plotted at s is equal to 0 and this is the point minus 1 plus j1, and you can see that one more pole is there at minus 1 minus j1. So that is also plotted. Centroids are plotted for 60 and 180 as well as 300. It's all easy to do it provided you understand the concepts and steps. So every step is important here and you have to write all the steps. So we got the asymptotes, we also got the centroid. So all of you have completed this figure. Still we need to solve it, rest of the things. All of you have completed this figure. So plot asymptote 1, asymptote 2 and asymptote 3, plot the centroids, plot the roots, so poles and zeros. So there is no zero here, only poles are available, all the three poles you can plot it. So once you complete it, just let me know that we will proceed further with step 7, where the root locus has to be always symmetrical with respect to the real axis. So once you can complete it, we need to find rest of the points as well. Is that over? Jason, it is completed. So if you have completed that figure, we will move on further. Is that over?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have to write step 7 that it has to be symmetrical with respect to the real axis. So you can write that step 7 that the root locus has to be symmetrical with respect to the real axis as the complex roots occur in conjugate pair. So next you try finding out the breakaway point. Let me check it out who are all finding the breakaway points. What is the breakaway point here? You can try solving it for breakaway point. Find the breakaway point. So when you go ahead with finding out the breakaway point, you need to take the system characteristic equation, and you know that it is 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0, and substitute g of s h of s. You know that what is g of s h of s, it is there in the question. So g of s h of s can be substituted, that is k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2 is equal to 0. 1 plus k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 2 is equal to 0. So you try solving it. When you solve it, you will get it in the form of an equation for k. When you solve it, you will get it as minus s cube minus 2s square minus 2s is equal to k. K is equal to this one. Then you need to take dk by ds that equal to 0, and you have to do that. So dk by ds is equal to 0. find the breakaway point, we can use dk by ds is equal to 0, and then you can simplify that further. When you take dk by ds, what you are going to get? When you take dk by ds is equal to 0, you are going to get 3s square plus 4s plus 2 is equal to 0. 3s square plus 4s plus 2 is equal to 0. So simplify that equation. So you can simplify that equation, 3s square plus 4s plus 2 is equal to 0. You can simplify that. When we simplify that, the roots, what you are going to get here is, you will be getting in this form, that is s is equal to 0.66 plus or minus j 0.471. Now you need to find that which one is the breakaway point and all those things. So we get s is equal to minus 0.66 plus or minus j 0.471. So when you complete it, so we can say that the value of k at s is equal to minus 0.66 plus or minus j 0.471 can be found. So value of k are, so substitute in place of s, you substitute as 0. Minus 0.66 plus or minus j 0.47, substitute in place of s. Then you will get the value of k. So you'll get it as 0.5297 plus or minus j 0.412. You can try over that. You put it in the calc and don't see, when you are putting it in the calculator, you make sure that you put the brackets properly and do it. Okay. So when you do that, you will get the value of k as 0.5297 plus or minus j 0.412. So all of you can solve it. I'll give you a minute time so you can complete it and check your answers whether you are getting the same. So we get k is equal to 0.52697 plus or minus j 0.412. So after completing that, for a linear system k should be always real. Hence, since k is a complex number, so s is equal to 0. Minus 0.66 plus or minus j 0.47. There are no breakaway points. So what you can see here is, since k is a complex number, you can say that for s is equal to this plus or minus 0.66 plus or minus j 0.471, you can say that there is no breakaway point. Since now it is a complex term, you need to find the angle of departure and angle of arrival. So you need, I have told you when I was explaining the steps to you, since it is a complex term, you need to go with angle of aperture, angle of departure and angle of arrival. So to find the angle of departure of a complex term, so you can try to find out the angle of departure and the angle of arrival. So first let us go with finding out the angle of departure of a complex pole. This we have discussed in while explaining the steps. You have seen that how to find out the angle of departure. So what you get here? So let phi d be the angle of departure of the complex poles at s is equal to minus j1. So draw the vectors from other poles and zeros. So to this pole whose angle of departure is being evaluated. So you need to find phi d, that is the angle of departure of the complex pole that is given as s is equal to minus 1 plus j1. So we are going to take this pole s is equal to, we got three poles there, 0, 1 plus so you got minus 1 plus j1. So that pole we are going to consider, and we are going to see that the angle of departure at that can be evaluated. So you can make a note of this step 9, still not completed. Is that over? So you find out the angle of departure by considering s is equal to minus 1 plus j1. So that is what you have to take, and you have to find out the angle of departure. So why you are finding out the angle of departure? Because you have a complex poles. That is very important. You should think when you get a problem whether to find out the angle of departure. Past three problems we have not found the angle of departure. Why this problem? Because because you have a complex pole. Out of the poles, whatever you have complex poles in that. So that's why you need to find out a angle of departure. So all of you have completed till here. So you can complete it. So I'll just move ahead. So once you find that you have to do quite a lot of things. So these are the steps you have to complete it. So we will just try. You can try this problem to complete it. If you are finding it difficult, we will complete in the upcoming class as well. Okay. So till step 9, you can complete. You can try finding out the angle of departure, and you can also find the rest of the things. Okay. And then try to plot the root locus. Okay, we will wind up for today. You can try this problem, and you can find out the answer for that. We will meet in the subsequent class. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.